All right, welcome. We are coming here. I'm waiting to make sure we're on Instagram. Okay, we are good. Welcome, ladies. Oh my goodness, here we are. Day 3 of our Curate Your Signature Offer event. I am so blessed to have you here. Welcome. Like, what a week we've had so far, right? We are putting your offer together, the key components. And some of the things I'm talking about, you won't find anywhere else, right? Because I do things very strategically, very purposefully to really move the needle in your business, right? So Monday, we talked about the fact that the number one best thing you can do in your business is what? To become obsessed with your ideal client. You need an ideal client, one. And tomorrow we're going to talk about the power of one, but it's so critical. The better you know this one ideal client, intimately, right? No detail, too small or unimportant. That's so important because the better you know this one person, the better your marketing, the better your messaging. We're going to talk about that a little bit today, and your positioning, the better everything is going to be in your business. Okay. And how do you get that deep understanding about that one ideal client? How do you do it? You got to talk to them, right? And if the thought of reaching out to people who fit your ideal client avatar. I don't like that word. If anybody has another word to come up with it, I'd love to know, right? I don't really like avatar. That kind of reminds me of some kind of crazy sci-fi thing. But anyway, the better you know that person, the better everything is. And so you need to talk to them. You really need to talk to them. And so if the thought of picking up the phone with them makes you get kind of nervous, or, oh gosh, am I going to be too salesy, or how are they going to react? You need to change your mindset. Okay. Your time simply cannot be better spent than hanging out with those you want to serve. Oh my God. I love when I get on the phone and talk to people. It is such a blessing, right? And ladies, connecting with people, building relationships. That's what business is all about, right? So have you begun kind of putting in your calendar, when am I going to identify the people I want to talk to, and when am I actually going to talk to them? Okay. Second, have you begun to think about your methodology? Have you identified your milestones to take your client from where they are now to where they really want to go? Do you know where they are now? Do you know where they want to go? Again, goes back to the first point. Everything builds on that, ladies. Okay. And so yesterday we talked about your pricing, right? And if you're like so many women business owners out there, your prices are too low. One of you beautiful ladies in Instagram sent me a DM and you said, you know what, Judy, in light of what we talked about yesterday, excuse me, she was going to like pretty much 3x her prices. Excellent. You're giving too much away. You're working too hard. I showed you a couple of spreadsheets that laid out the numbers, right? Numbers don't lie. The reality is there's a crazy number of leads you need to hit in order to get to your revenue goal if your price is too low, right? And by your reaction, I could see that reality for many of you is actually quite shocking, right? I've heard from a bunch of you, but you needed to see that. You need to be educated to make the best decisions for your business. We're not doing this blindly. We're not doing this haphazardly. Strategy, 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 right? And simplicity built in, okay? Your pricing has to consider not only the money coming in, your revenue, but also your expenses, right? Because at the end of the day, your business needs to be profitable. So revenue minus expenses, what's left? And is that sustainable for you? Does it allow you to live? Do the numbers work, right? So remember, God blessed you with your smarts, with your passion, with your skills, all of it. You are valuable. Your work is valuable, literally changing lives. You may not think of it that way. You know, I see a couple of realtors here with me live on the Zoom, and you change lives. I just moved into a new neighborhood. I love my neighborhood. My life is so different than it was in Philly. You change lives. There's such value. Please do not price based on an hourly rate. Don't trade your time for money. Okay. That's ultimately a losing proposition. And the work you do in the way that you do your services, it can't be valued based on time that it takes for you to do it. I want to drop this quick example and I want to move on, but I really want this to land with you, ladies. If you are a doctor, let's say you know a doctor and they're your GP, your family doctor, okay? They make a certain living, right? But if you have cancer and that doctor refers you to a general oncologist who can help, right? That's a good thing, right? But if you have a specific kind of breast cancer that's really tough to treat and ultimately to cure, would you want to work with that generalist oncologist, or would you want to work with that specialist of breast cancer? And not only that, but the specialist related to that particular kind of breast cancer, right? Which one? When your life's at stake, you choose the specialist, right? That's why I'm telling you, ladies, you got to be specialized. Choose your ideal client specifically, choose your niche specifically, right? But let's say that this particular specialist oncologist can cure you in one surgery, but it's like 3 or 4 times the cost of this general oncologist. Which would you choose? Right, Bonnie on IG. Good to see you, hon. She says, I want the best. And think about it. Now you might say, well, that's life or death, Jude, because, so that's obvious. Well, wait a minute. Don't put your limiting beliefs on your ideal client, because maybe to them, they really need you as much as in my example, that woman needs this breast oncology surgeon, right? It's about the transformation you provide. And have you really thought that through, the work that you do and the impact that you make, right? Does that make sense? That's how you price your offer. You price your offer on the value of the transformation, not the time it takes you to do it. If that specialist can do the surgery in one time, that this general oncology surgeon would have to have 3 surgeries, I don't want to put my body through 3 surgeries. I'd rather pay the 3 and 4 times to get it done once, get it done right, get it done efficiently. And I'm willing to pay the premium, even though it takes less time. See, we get ourselves wrapped up when we say our value is wrapped up in the time it takes to do it. The better you are at what you do, the less time it's going to take for you to do it. I'm going to say that again. The better you are at what you do, the less time it's going to take you to do it. So you can't base your pricing on time it takes you to do stuff, right? Yeah, Karen says worth the cost, right? Worth the investment. So that was all Monday, believe it or not. Okay, so yesterday we talked about faith, and a little bit of yesterday too. Yesterday we also talked about faith and the power of belief. As followers of Christ, we cannot play small. It costs too much in lost blessings for others and for us, right? In lost impact, not to mention dollars that could allow you to donate more to the church and other worthy causes, dollars that could make a meaningful difference in your family's life. And of course, the time freedom that comes from running a business in the most efficient way, right? Christ is able. Hallelujah. We have got to stand on our faith. And I want to see lots of loves and likes on that one. Okay. We need to walk our talk. We need to look different. And that doesn't end in the Sunday or in the life, but that faith walk has to extend into our business. There's no need to compartmentalize. And in fact, I just know that God doesn't want us to keep him out of our businesses, right? He brought us to it, right? So thank you for joining me today. We're talking today on day 3 about words, and I'll be sharing 6 power words that sell. I want you to include these in your copy, as well as 5 headline templates to stop the scroll. Okay. And that is whether it's on your website, whether it's on social, or wherever it is. Now, if this happens to be the first time we're meeting, sister, hello and welcome. So glad you're here. My name is Judy Weber, and I'm a women's business strategist, a former Philly trial lawyer, C-suite executive turned successful serial entrepreneur. And who do I help? Who's my ICA? Go-getter, high-achieving women of faith, high-level thinkers. And I help them build and scale their business with strategy, systems, and simplicity. Okay, let's get to the fun topic of words. But first, let's go to the Lord in prayer. Heavenly Father, you are so good. Thank you, God, for bringing all of us together here on Instagram, on Facebook, here on Zoom. Lord God, you are so good. How you work is just beyond anything we could really fully understand. We thank you for it. Please, Lord, may my words today be edifying. May they please you, God, and may they hit the hearts and the minds of these beautiful ladies watching, whether it's live or on the replay, Lord. I'm here to make an impact. I am here to be the woman you created me to be. So Lord, I'm open to the Holy Spirit's direction. I am your vessel. Use me so that these ladies' lives and businesses can truly be impacted long-term. We love you and we trust you. It's in the mighty name of Jesus that we pray. Amen. Amen. All right. Before I move on, I want to see why I can't see you ladies on on Facebook. I want to be able to see you because I want to interact with you. Yesterday, I realized I couldn't. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, all right. I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get to it. Words, copywriting, messaging, they all mean the same thing. Okay. A couple of concepts that I want to start with right up front. Words can make the difference between someone exploring your site or jumping off. So that means the words have to be compelling. They have to literally stop the scroll. How do you do that? We're going to go back to a concept that I keep harping on. Any guesses? Yeah, you got to speak directly to your ideal client. There it is again. Remember, there is no better way to spend your time than to totally get to know that one person. There's just so much noise out there. The average entrepreneur, and I know you're not average, the average entrepreneur doesn't get into the details. They don't get into the specifics about what makes their ideal client tick, getting in their head. What are they worried about? What are they excited about, right? So when you do that, you'll be seen. So your words have to be compelling. Okay, that's the first overarching point. And the second is your words must be clear, easily understood. Not a good idea to be cutesy and clever. Okay, when it comes to words and copy, they've got to be compelling and they've got to be clear. Okay. And how do we make that happen? Let's go to our worksheet for day 3 and let's fill in some of the blanks here. Okay. So copywriting is what focused? What do you think that's going to be? Copywriting is ideal client focused. Okay. You got to think about what are their words? Think back to your messaging, your market research. What have you been doing? Right? It's so important. Oh my goodness. All right. So I have here that I want you to create 2 libraries. You can put them in a Google Doc, put them in a Word doc, put them in notes on your phone. Okay. Whatever works for you. But when it comes to your ideal client, you need 2 like buckets. Okay. You need to know their pains and their desires. And I'm not talking generalities. Get specific. Give me an example. Right? If they say, I'm overwhelmed as you're talking to them in market research, what does overwhelmed mean? Give me an example. Well, you know, I start this project and then this bing and bong happens on my computer and then I get pulled away, or I get overwhelmed when I'm trying to, you know, follow my time blocking on my calendar, but the phone rings and then the kids and then the husband and then the who knows what, right? You need to know those examples because then you are in their life. And you can speak to those in your copy. Okay. So their pains, you know, ask them what's frustrating for you. What's the most frustrating thing about what you do? Like I'm a business coach. What's the most frustrating part of running your business? You know, what's the toughest part? What do you hate about it? A lot of women say, I hate to strategize. Or rather, I hate the systems. They don't even know how to strategize. Oh, I'm supposed to strategize. Oh, okay. I'm just trying to, you know, keep all the balls in the air. Oh, really? What are you doing in that regard? Well, what does that mean? Oh, well, I'm posting on all these different social platforms. And how long does it take you to do that? Oh, 3 hours. Let me tell you something, sister. Cut yourself a break. Cut the social to about 1/3 of that at most. And do the right things on social instead of worrying about posting everywhere and actually talk to people. See, but I wouldn't even know that's their issue if I didn't continue to ask the questions. What do you mean by that? Tell me specifically, you know, how you're overwhelmed. If you're a health coach and somebody says, you know, I just have these up, you know, I lose 10 pounds, I gain 5 pounds. Tell me what your day looks like. How did it feel when you were losing that weight? What were you doing? And what changed when the scale started to go the wrong direction? Like, are you asking these specific questions? The specificity is going to be the magic, and I hate the word, but that's going to be what makes your copy compelling. The details. The average person doesn't want to take time to do it. They don't want to pick up the phone. It's amazing to me. My kids and millennials, they don't even know that a phone is for speaking. To them, a phone is all about the internet. Come on. Pick up the phone, talk to people. It's a joy. I used to be scared. Now I love it. Oh, great. Who's on my calendar today? I had a beautiful conversation with Chastity last week. It's just a blessing. Okay. Pains and desires. What do you dream about? Ask your ideal client. I don't care what you do. That's a question you need to ask. What's your biggest dream? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? It's important. Okay. Because when you impact people, you're impacting their life. So you need to get to know what their life is like. And the life of a young mom with 3 kids and she's running after them is very different than my life right now. So if you say I'm, working with women from like 30 to 60, wait a minute. You get my point, right? Okay. The second library you need to create is your mantras, your isms. You know mine, right? She is extraordinary. Pursue the impossible. Perfectly imperfect. Faith-fueled business. The faith fuels the business. Joyful scaling. Scaling's not a drudgery, although we know it's work. It's not rocket science. It's a joy. You got to find the joy in everything, right? So what do I have here on the worksheet? And I got to emphasize it. You got to be 1,000% authentically you. And let me tell you something. I got to pause here. This is probably going to be a long one. I was thinking it was going to be a short one, but you know me. Okay, so too many of you are spending time downloading this freebie, that freebie. Oh, gosh, that's a great idea. Let me screenshot that. Let me copy that. It's good, like kind of sort of to get familiar with what's out there and to capture what you love, but you're spending too much time being a student and you're not spending enough time sitting and thinking and praying and strategizing and creating your own amazingness. And you're so busy looking at, oh, wow. Oh, I wish I would have thought of those words. Now I can't use those words because she used them. Stop looking around. Okay. Give yourself the gift of blinders. God gave you all you need. Okay. Between you and him, you don't need to look at anything else. Okay. How do you speak? Don't be anybody else. Speak like you. And that was so hard for me as a lawyer who wrote appellate briefs. I couldn't even do contractions. And now I love it. I wanna, W-A-N-N-A, boom. That's how I speak. I wanna do this, So anyway, be authentically you. Don't copycat. Don't cookie cutter. Everybody's going to see through it. Okay. Also, when you're like, well, Judy, I don't know, like, how am I different? Like, how can I be different? Look at your industry. What do you hate about it? What do you hate about it? Let me tell you what I hate about coaching. Okay. First of all, I hate the word coaching. I'm not an athletic type person, although I appreciate their dedication and we need that in entrepreneurship. But that doesn't resonate with me. I'm not an athletic. I love the Eagles, even though I'm here in South Carolina. But anyway, you can take the girl out of Philly, but Philly ain't coming out of me ever. So what am I saying? I love to digress. I shouldn't. Okay. So what do you hate about your industry? I hate that the bigger and better, quote unquote, coaches get, the more out of touch they are with their peeps. They pass it on to somebody else. Oh, I got this team of coaches. No way. I will never get that big. Okay. That's the difference. I know my ladies. Marie, I know. Christy, I know. I don't know who else is here. Let me see. I know my clients. I know their businesses. And Helen, I love Helen. She was a former client as well. I know you. I will never have thousands of clients because I never want to lose touch with my clients. So what does that mean to make it work? My prices are going to go up. But you're going to get something for that. Amazing value. Bonnie Getz, she's been a client of mine for 4 years. I know her. I love her. I love and know my clients. So I hate that about the industry that when you get too big, oh, now I got to bring on a team of coaches. No, I'll bring on other people, other experts to supplement what I'm doing, but I will never, ever, mark my words, keep this and show it to me in 5 years. I will never, ever lose touch with my clients, ever. So what do you hate about the industry? Call it out. Do a social post about that. Okay. That's huge. Okay. That's how you identify your unique perspective, by the way. Okay, let's talk about specifics here when it comes to words. I'm going to throw out 6 words that are really power words, but you can't stop here. You really can't stop here. Okay, I'm just going to throw them out. You can type them in the chat. You can take your notes, whatever makes sense for you. But these are these 6 power words that sell. You, the person's name that you're talking to, right? People love to be called out. People call somebody by their name. You can't do it any better than that, really. They want to know that you know them, okay? Easy. Use the word easy in your copy. Imagine. Imagine, power word. Proven. And now. I'm going to say them again. You, their name, easy, imagine, prove, and now. But hold on a second. You can't use those in isolation and all of a sudden things are going to be super duper different, okay? So what do you have to do in that regard? Well, again, you have to address the ideal client's pains and desires. Okay. Now let's talk for a second about what you call yourself, because what you call yourself is going to impact who is going to kind of see you and maybe pause for a second to see what you got to say. So what do you call yourself? It matters. For example, if you're a realtor and you call yourself, I work with first-time home buyers. That is very different than if you say, I work with the discerning buyer to find them their perfect and forever home, right? So in the first example, you're going to work with younger folks, right? Or people in a certain demographic. But if you say, I'm working with a discerning buyer to find them their perfect home, their forever home, wow, wait, if it's a forever home, then they're at a different level demographically. Okay, so let me give you another example. If you are a health coach, do you call yourself a fitness coach? Do you call yourself a personal trainer? Do you call yourself a healthy lifestyle expert? Each of those has a little bit of a different connotation, right? So think about that. For me, in a business coach, and I know a bunch of coaches out there, whether it's business or something different, right? Are you going to put out there that you're starting with beginners, or are you working with seasoned people, experienced people? It matters, right? If you're in the travel industry, are you going to be catering your messages to families or to singles? It's a whole different thing. But if you're trying to talk to everybody, I don't know who's going to be watching. My fear is, my thought is not many, because the singles aren't thinking family. When I was in my 20s, I wanted kids, but it wasn't on my brain at that moment. You get what I'm saying? I'm so glad to see so many here on Instagram, and ladies, this is so good. Oh, Marie says, I hate the hypocrisy. Bless you. And Chrissy says, that's why I love you. That's why I love you, ladies, right? God brings the right people together for us. All right, so let's jump to those 5 headlines. The headline formulas that you can use to create copy on your website, copy about your offer, on social posts, blog posts, wherever it is that you are putting yourself out there, okay? So write these down, ladies, okay? Here's one. You're tired of blank and wish that you could blank. And I'll give you examples for each one. You're tired of blank. That's what they're sick of. You've learned it in your market research. And they wish that you could blank, right? So here's the example. You're tired of blowing money on Facebook ads that don't even work. And you wish you could create a consistent stream of leads on autopilot. You'll have to go back to listen to the replay, okay? But you're tired of blank and wish you could have blank. That's an awesome headline formula, okay? Here's another one. At the bottom of your copy, when you're right before that buy button, okay? Are you ready to blank, but you're still blank? Are you ready to blank, but you're still blank, okay? Are you ready to get fully booked, but you're too busy creating hundreds of different products, right? Are you ready to get fully booked, but you're too busy doing something else, right? Right? Are you ready to stop the crazy and finally start making money? Right? Okay. That's the second headline template. The third one, here's that imagine idea. What would life look like if you could blank? What would life look like if you could blank? Here's the example. What would life look like if you were so confident in your offer that it became an easy yes for your dream clients? That's a good one, right? What would life look like? That's a question I want you to ask yourself. What would life look like if you were so confident in what you were putting out there? That the way you showed up on your sales conversations, the way you showed up online, on social, in your copy, on your sales page, wherever it is that you direct them, whatever your sales process is, what would life look like if you were so confident that it was an easy yes, that you kind of assumed when you get on the phone with them, they're going to say yes if they really want it. If they're playing games and they're losing their freebies, but I would hope that your messaging and the words that you use would make clear. I'm going to pause and say this now. Your copy should say who this is for and who it's not. For me, I'm looking for serious women who really want to make a difference in the world with their God-given talents, right? Those that are really going to walk their faith and they're going to do scary things, because I'm going to ask you to do scary things, but it's fun, right? Those that are serious enough to commit and invest in their business. Not those that are keep saying, yeah, I'll invest when I make this or when I do that or when it ain't never going to happen. It's not. So any hoosers. Okay. The fourth headline template. Pick a number, pick an adjective, steps, right? So 3 powerful steps to blank, even if you're blank. Okay. So number, adjective, steps to blank, even if you're blank. So for this one, turn the page. How about this? 5 simple steps to get fully booked with your clients, with your ideal clients, even if you don't have an email list. 5 simple steps to get fully booked with ideal clients, even if you don't have an email list. Are you loving these headlines? It's so easy to plug and play, right? Strategy, simplicity. Don't overthink it. Okay, next one. I think this is the last one. Okay. Discover the secret to blank, even if you're blank. Discover the secret to blank, even if you're blank. So here's my example. Discover the secret to mastering your sales calls, even if you hate sales. Ta-da! I love that one. Discover the secret to mastering your sales conversations, even if you hate sales. All right. Questions or anything like that, please put it in the chat. I do want to go back to the worksheet for just a moment because I want to speak to what I have here at the bottom. I have some really great examples that I had forgotten to talk earlier, so I want to make sure I hit them on now. When I'm talking about words matter, especially as it relates to who your ideal client is, I have a couple of examples. The first one relates to business, right? I could talk about an offer that says, get an immediate cash infusion. Or I could say, I want to help you put together an innovative revenue generation strategy. Now you might say, wow, those words are weird. Okay, well, maybe that they don't relate to you, right? But an immediate cash infusion sounds like a quick fix. But when I talk about an innovative revenue generation strategy, that sounds higher level, right? And if I'm wrong, if you disagree, I'd love to, I don't mind the, the little banter back and forth. That's good. Okay. How about this example? Find a date for this weekend or find the love of your life. If you're a relationship coach, who do you want to work with? The quickie, the value's here down below, or do you want to help them find the love of their life? The value is going to be insane. And do you want to work with, people just got out of college, or do you want to work with executives and professionals who are making some bank, who could pay you serious bank because, hey, they don't want to find just anybody. They want to find someone that they have already kind of picked in their brain and they're looking for them, and you can help them find it, right? How about the last one? You're a health coach. Should your copy say drop a quick 10 pounds? Or should it say live a healthy lifestyle well into your 80s? One is a quick fix, one is longer term. The value is different. The value proposition, right? The wording matters. So for your homework tonight, I want you to think about, even right now, what was the biggest takeaway? Was it those headline templates? Great. Start thinking about how you can plug in your information, things that relate specifically to your business and in particular, your ideal client, right? What was your biggest takeaway? Was it maybe, wow, I never thought about thinking about my industry and what I hate about it? Whatever it is, I need you to capture that in this moment or today for sure. And then I talk about prioritizing connections with people. And I harp on this in my She Is Extraordinary podcast. I harp on this with my clients. I harp on this in my Faith Fueled Business Facebook group, everywhere I go, because connecting is what business is all about. So I know I'm asking you to think a lot, and you can't do all this and get it done this week, but this is the beginning of momentum, because tomorrow I'm going to tell you about an opportunity to jump in and work with me inside my packaging, pricing, and messaging intensive. It's an 8-week intensive happening later this month, starting later this month, where we're going to go deeper into each of these areas, so that at the end of the 8 weeks together, you're not only going to have a dialed in offer that you're going to love, that you will have confidence in, but you're going to start selling it and get that investment back if you do the work. Okay, I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. But for now, today, can you spend some time prioritizing, how am I going to connect with people? Plan for who you want to connect with, right? There are different pockets of people. Your ideal client for that market research that I've been harping on, potential collaborative partners, right? Past clients. How often do you reach out to past clients? And then how many times are you going to reach out to them, right? Are you going to reach out to new people on social? Maybe 10 outreaches a day? Are you going to reach out to past clients, maybe 1 a day or 3 a week? You got to come up with what you're going to be doing. And then when are you going to do it? Do you have it time blocked? When you're going to be actually connecting with people, right? Do you have a time block specifically for outreaches through DMs on Instagram, for example, if Instagram is your thing, as opposed to time on Instagram, 1 hour, and you have no idea what you're doing. And so the time is not being best utilized as it could be. And then finally, how are you going to connect? Are you going to reach out to people by phone? Ta-da, it's so rare. Are you going to reach out by text? Are you going to send them a video? You know, so many different things. Okay. Then I have for your CEO item for the day is, I want you to begin creating those 2 libraries we talked about. Words describing your ideal client's pains and desires, and words that are all over your brand, making you. Marie says, takeaway, emphasize the long term. The transformation has a higher value than the quick fix. Yes. Question, I don't get answers. Do I contact the wrong people? Okay, this is the beauty. Marie, unmute, hon, and let's chat. This is so good.
Hi. Actually, I posted the question and then you started giving answers, and this is something I've already asked you quite a lot, and I think I've come to more clarity about my ICA, and I think I identify the problem as being that my ICA is not on social media, because there are CEOs and high-end executives, and actually they don't manage their social media. Most of the time it's somebody else. So I'm really trying to get into groups with specific interest and, you know, find the back door and contact them. But what I mean here is that I've started to size down my connections on LinkedIn, where I can actually find quite a lot of them. It's like a directory thing. They don't always answer, but it's quite a good directory. And I get connections. Actually, I've changed the way I'm connecting. So I'm sending a more straightforward message clearly stating where I stand and who I serve. So it's really, hi, I'm Marie Noël. I'm a French private shopper for busy CEOs. If you have a high stress life and many responsibilities, I can take care of you, your gifts. And so you can be with your family, be present. So I use this specific invite now. I don't send invitations just like that, and they connect. So I'm saying, okay, they connect. So they like what we're reading. But next, I hardly have any feedback. You know, it's like, okay, you've read it, and now what are we doing? And and actually what's been a bit bothering me is that I get some people who are a bit lunatic, like, and I'm wondering if it's in something I'm saying. Is there something in what I say or the way I'm connecting that make them believe?
This is so good. Okay, that's
You
excellent.
know,
Yeah. Okay. Let me make sure that people on Instagram heard that. So Marie is a private shopper for executives, like CEO level people, C-suite people, and so she's having success connecting with them on LinkedIn, which is exactly where they are. But then it kind of stops with the connection. All right, a couple things I want to say about that. Number one, brava. I love your note as you're looking to connect with them so that they know exactly what you are. And the fact that they're saying yes, they could say no. So the yes is
absolutely. They could ignore me.
Yeah. Right. So that's very positive. But understand, the old adage used to be 7 to 10 touches before somebody will really pay attention to you. Well, now I've heard that number is in the 20s now, and actually approaching 30, because we're just so bombarded. And, so I think for you, LinkedIn's really the place that you need to be, but understand this is a long term. Okay. That's one thing. Second thing, they're so busy that if gift giving isn't really top of mind at the moment, they will say she's nice, she's great, but I don't need her now. I mean, very much executives operate from a place of deadline. They're deadline oriented. Okay, what do I need to do today? And if they're the CEO, they might be thinking about their directors and things that are, oh, I got this problem I got to plug, and I got to talk to this person, and now I'm the rainmaker as well, so now I got to go ahead. They're very busy. So the next thing would be, and this gets to be a little bit more risky as far as the ROI, but you need to get really creative for your ideal client. And how can I get their attention? So the door to an executive is their executive assistant.
All right.
Okay. So sometimes you don't know who that is, but you got to get creative. So I'm just thinking about my office when I was sitting in the general counsel and director of HR spot. And so if there would be a package or a letter or a something sent, the CEO ain't opening it. Okay. And the general counsel is not opening it. My secretary is opening it. My assistant is opening it. So, but that's okay, because if they're impressed by that, they, first of all, if it's something generic, they'll toss it. But if it's something special, like even a gift, I don't even know what the gift could be. Okay. We can strategize about that when we meet in the academy, but think about that. What can I send that would stand out? So maybe for that CEO, find out, like I'm thinking about my CEO, he loved to go to Florida. He had a place in Florida. He loved to sail. So knowing that, is there an article you can send? Is there I don't know, something that you can send related to sailing in Florida? And that takes some investigative work.
Yeah.
Another avenue is to, even knowing that the executive assistant opens it, in the envelope, have something for the CEO or the executive, but also a little note for the executive assistant, and say, hey, I know that so-and-so is busy. I'd love to connect with you. When can we chat? That'd be fun.
Right.
Okay. So all these things where you say, okay, how can I reach the right people? And then the other thing, which you're already doing, so I want to call this out, you are collabing with people that are serving that same ideal client. You're collabing with those in your industry, in related industries. And that is when you think about, how can we come together to get in front of each other's audience and serve? But it's a matter of consistency, keep showing up and getting really creative.
Right.
What do you
Yes,
think?
yes. I was rereading one of the answers I received, and actually it's really that. She said, so she's the founder and chairwoman of I don't have it here anyway. And so she said, thank you for your connection request and message. If an opportunity to collaborate arises, either myself or a member of my team will reach out to continue the conversation. And then she asked me if I want to subscribe to her LinkedIn newsletter. And I thought, oh, seriously.
But you know what? Oh, go ahead.
And so I answered, okay, thank you for accepting the invitation. I'll be happy to keep up to date with your company's newsletter. Nevertheless, it is you as a busy CEO with many responsibilities and open heart for people and the family that my service can support. Would you allow me to share with you by email on rare occasions a curated collection of pieces from the world's best? Of course, I'm available to discuss this with you at your convenience.
That's beautiful. That is so good. And let me tell you something, the nature of what you're doing, it ain't going to be easy. But once you get one client, like I know you already have a bunch of clients, but I mean, once you get that one heavy hitter, then, and even think about this with the people that you've already worked with, you've got to maximize and leverage, and that is not a bad word. That's a good word in business. Leverage their peeps. Like there has to be a trust between you and your clients, so that if you say, who do you know that I need to know? Like if they've been wowed by you, then you can say, this is how I build my business. It's all on word of mouth. This is, the nature of my business is that I'm not out there looking for tons of people. I'm looking for the right people, you stroke their ego. I'm looking for the right people. So who do you know that I need to know? Who can I help? And then you can even say, and you know how I operate. I understand that they don't have time to waste. I'm not going to harass them, but I do want to make sure that they know that, there's a big difference between asking your secretary to buy a gift for your husband, right? Versus me. And there's just a whole different level, a different dynamic, and a different smile on the face of the receiver when you're looking at the executive. That's the tenor of what you say. So great job, Marie. Just got to keep at it, sister, because you're awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Do you think, sorry, something you just said, it really, I wrote it down. Do you think it's okay for me to make a post asking this question? Who do you know that I can help? Because some people I've noticed that they don't see it for themselves. I mean, we always see, the straw in the eye of a neighbor. And so they're maybe not ready to recognize that they don't do nice gifts. They don't, they're not going to say that. They say, oh, I'm all right, I'm doing okay with my gifts, but they have in mind somebody else always made them terrible gifts. So
okay, a couple of things came to mind. This is so good. I definitely would say do that post. Who do you know that needs this? But like I said before, your expertise, we need to educate the CEOs and the C-suite people why they need it.
Yeah.
They don't have time. They don't have the sources you do. And they don't really give the thought to that as they do with everything else in their business. And so, part of your social, I think, and part of your outreaches to them, part of your videos, everything you're doing needs to be like, I know where you're falling down and you don't even know it.
Right.
Executive level people, we don't want to fall down anywhere. So if you would say that, I would watch you. I know where you're falling down and you don't even know it. Oh, watch this 2-minute video and let me show you why. And so then you say, here you are, you're thriving here, you're thriving there, you're thriving there. But yet when it's the anniversary gift, you're like, oh my God, my husband's going to kill me if I don't get him something. And then you're last minute reaching out to the secretary and she doesn't know what the heck to get. She doesn't know your husband very well, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So, you're paying your executive assistant 50 grand a year, 100 grand a year, but, depending on where they are, like the celebrities, their people know stuff, but I'm talking about, even higher level multi-million-dollar CEOs, their executive secretaries, they're limited in their in their ability.
Yes, yeah.
So,
Especially, I mean, I don't have anything against young people, but it takes a lifetime or
yeah,
a certain number
experience.
of years to get a more intuitive and to
Right.
know things actually.
Right.
Just
So last thing
so-
I'll say on this exactly, Marie, is that think about on other posts, like I always say, think about what makes you different and do posts about that. Here's why
Alright.
experience matters in the way of gift giving. Did you ever think about what gift giving is? You know, all these types of things where you're going deep, micro topics. All right. Thank you so much for your question.
Thank you.
All right. You are so welcome. Bonnie says, I love the word imagine. I would love everyone to imagine being happy and financially secure in their home. Wow. That is awesome. That is excellent. All right. Chastity, Helen, Pam, Karen, any of you have questions? And I know a couple are watching on Instagram. I don't know who you are. I'm so sorry. All right. I'm not seeing any questions. So I'm going to head out. Tomorrow is going to be another amazing day. We're talking about the power of one. And please don't dismiss it. And don't say, oh, yeah, I get it. I always come with some fresh stuff, right? Good word from the Lord. No, I'm not, it's from him through me. Okay. So understand everything that I'm sharing is built on 30 years in sales. Can't even believe that. What is it now? 18 years in business since 03. I can't do the math. I guess 18 years, right? A couple of decades in the law. So I'm giving you my very best. And it is a joy to come to you every morning this week. I'm going to miss you when I can't, when I'm not coming. But anywho, be in touch. If you're not yet in the Faith Fueled Business Facebook group, please join us. You'll be joining thousands of women like us, powerhouses, Christian entrepreneurs who are making a big difference for the Lord. So thank you. God bless you, ladies. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Take care.